Hi everybody. I want to give you guys a quick update about everything. But this is a finance issue, and I just want to put the word out about moneytree. In America, they have this wonderful predatory lender called moneytree. And the way it works is you could get two kinds of loans. You can get a payday loan, and you can get a installment loan, and it might be different in your state. Payday loan, they give you money before your paycheck. An installment loan, you say how much money you want, and you choose a date, and you pay it back, and it gets really tricky. If you don't pay it back like immediately, and it's called rescind. If you don't rescind the loan, you can rescind the loan within 24 hours. That means 24 hours after you get the loan, you can pay it all back and have zero interest. Or you can pay it back in 3 sections, and they charge you about 400% interest. Now, I'm not going to get into the technical aspect, but it's like 400 interest like per day, and it's insane. Like if you borrow 1,000, you have to give 1 to 3. I mean, it's never ending. You get trapped in every day that you're late on this installment loan, or every day that you're waiting to pay the next due date. You have to literally pay like 400 interest per day. And I know I'm not getting really technical, but it's, sorry, my hands are dirty. I just was in my car. But it's really tricky, and it's a huge amount. You will be paying, like I said, the interest you pay, $300 a day, will not even pay for the principal, and you will literally be trapped. It's like what was illegal, I'm sure, and like loan sharks will break your legs and stuff. It's like really freaking scary. Now, as somebody who's been a member of moneytree for a couple years now, unfortunately, to help me access liquidity, there's been a couple of times where I learned the hard, cool lesson, and I've literally paid thousands of dollars in interest to them. But I found out that through the magic of rescinding your loan, you can have a zero interest payment. I had up to $3,000 credit limit, and I would use it sparingly when I needed to cover like a 24-hour expense. Now, being a good person, you know, they asked me for my credit statement, and I sent in my statement, and I'm not going to tell you what that was. It's a lot of money. I mean, it's way more than what I made at Tesla. I mean, it's not a lot of money, but you know, when you work 16 hours a day at Uber, and it's in the multiple thousands and thousands. So, okay. In April, I had $11,000 gross income. Now, I'm not going to talk about my expenses and all that, because it's, when you do look at business expenses and stuff, that doesn't mean that I make $11,000 a month. But it's should be enough to maintain my credit at moneytree. Now, today I was in this special situation where I needed to tap into their credit, and they said I need to update my proof of income. I updated my proof of income, and I needed to pay this little extra bit of money in a pinch just for 24 hours. And they said, we're sorry. You're not using, moneytree was not designed for the way, you're not using moneytree services for its intended design, or something like that. I wasn't breaking the rules, and I paid them all their money. So I called them up and I said, wait a second, man, I'm paying on time. I'm never delinquent. You guys made a couple $1,000s for me. Oh, well, you've rescinded like 11 times this year. Yeah, I did. Maybe I won't rescind one day. Maybe I miss that 24-hour period and you make $1,000 on me just like that or more. But so I've got to wait extra time. And hopefully this week they'll clear it up. But I guess it might have been my last days on moneytree. So you can have in my bank, even though my credit scores get better, they don't want to lend you money. They don't want to give me an additional credit card, and my credit card's doing pretty good. But I use moneytree sometimes, you know, and they're just not happy with it because I'm paying on time. I'm not delinquent, and I rescind my loans 11 times. So I know I have to work on my financial management, but one of the best things about Uber is you have access to liquidity. Like my rooftop tent, brand new, was like $4,500. I found a deal with some rich kids in San Diego. They had one for sale for like 1,800, $2,000 or something, and I drove immediately to San Diego. Didn't have to ask my boss for advance. I had my money from Uber, and I worked really hard. I got the money real quick, and I went down and got it. If I had a traditional job that I had to wait for my money from Tesla every 2 weeks, which is way less, then I wouldn't be able to get that deal. So sometimes having access to instant liquidity is better than even making more money per month. And in using moneytree, if you're clever, you could have access to liquidity. But as it appears, they might not like it if you're using their service and following the rules and getting interest-free loans because you're paying ahead of time or you're rescinding a loan, which is completely legal. So I just want to share that about moneytree. Watch out, be careful, and it's not a good place. And why is it that like my credit unions and my banks don't give me those services? You know, there's so many problems with the financial system in the U.S. that they literally want to get you caught up in some kind of credit enslavement, and it's really unjust for the working class that lives from day to day or has struggles to get liquidity, whereas richer people have access to liquidity, and that equals freedom, and it's not fair because you can't say somebody works harder than the other person based on the size of their bank account. Otherwise, the poorest diamond farmers in Africa would have the largest bank accounts. But anyways, catch you later on. Watch out for money tree.